Hi, everyone. Welcome to the InspireSpark podcast, where we share empowering stories of remarkable individuals. I'm your host, Siren, and today we have a special episode in honor of International Women's Day. Joining us is Cindy Yeo, founder of Citadel Search, whom I admire as a role model of a superwoman. Cindy is a successful entrepreneur, leading her business for 18 years and a dedicated mother of 5. She has been in the human resource consulting field and a HRD practitioner for the last 2 decades. Previously, she had worked in Development Dimensions, International, and Arthur Andersen in her consulting days, and as a HR practitioner in DBS Bank and National Semiconductor. Hi, Cindy. Thank you for joining us.
Hi, Siren. Thank you so much for having me. Really am humbled by this opportunity that you've chosen me to be part of your podcast. Yeah.
My pleasure. All right, Cindy, for a start, right, could you share what Citadel Search does and what motivated you to set it up?
Okay, I shall start with just saying that the driving force behind Citadel Search was actually my clients. They were the ones who motivated me to set up the firm. They gave me the courage to set up. And they said they would support me, and they really did. And my clients really place a lot of trust in Citadel Search, for which I am very grateful.
Very nice.
Aside from that, another great influence of my career journey was my mom. She is a great role model, being the breadwinner of my family when my dad got retrenched in his banking job. Um, so witnessing my mother's hard work from young really showed me that women can play an equally important role as men, providing for their family and also breaking the stereotypical gender roles that society often tends to portray. So in this light, let me share with you about Citadel. So Citadel was then set up 18 years ago and to be an executive search firm. So we aim to bridge capabilities and unlock possibilities for both our clients as well as candidates. So to this end, we understand the importance of firstly understanding the DNA of our clients, their mandates, and then connecting talents in the market to meet their requirements. Yeah. So as an executive search firm, we serve to achieve this purpose.
I see. Thanks for sharing. It's inspiring to hear how your clients and the influence of your mother played pivotal roles in setting up Citadel Search. And I love the way you bridge capabilities and unlock possibilities for both clients and also candidates. It's truly commendable.
Thank you.
You're welcome. All right. As a woman in a leadership position, what were some of the challenges you faced in your career and how did you overcome them?
That's a great question. So personally, when I was building my career, I was given the opportunity to lead and become a manager sometime in my early 30s. And during then, I was already a mom of 2. And I was trying my very best to balance both career and family. Yeah. After a few years, I decided to take a short break as my job was very demanding and I was literally burning the candle on both ends. So I got back into the market after a short hiatus and then tried to continue my corporate climb. So the challenge then for me was really balancing family and work. And I'm sure this is a constant conundrum every woman face. Yeah. Every working woman face. Yeah. So I would say that I had the benefit of a good family infrastructure. And my dad, being retrenched, could help me oversee my growing brood of kids. So from 2 to 3, 2 to 4 and 5, while they were growing up, in those very early, very young, tender age. Yeah. Having an adult to watch over them really allowed me to have the peace of mind to work and focus on my job and not worry so as I to pursue my leadership roles. Yeah. So in that sense, I'm very blessed to have my dad then.
Indeed. Yeah, thanks for sharing, Cindy. Your journey as a leader, especially during the phase of managing a career and family, is truly impressive. I can personally attest to the challenge that you have mentioned. Thank you.
Yeah, indeed. But at the Singapore society level, I think we as a society has taken great steps to push for gender equality. Um, at the workplace, we have made great strides in pushing the glass ceiling and allowing a lot of women to experience leadership positions in their workplace. However, I think there is still a lot of room for improvement, especially for women at the senior positions. Yeah. Based on one of study by MSCI, Women on Board Beyond, it's called Women on Boards and Beyond report. It showed that percentage of female CEOs in Singapore, it's actually unfortunately at a very low 6.3%, which means about 1 in 15 men ratio, 1 woman to 15 men ratio. Yeah. Furthermore, the world data actually shows that in 2022, women represented only 40.6% of Singapore's senior and middle management. So that's really quite low. Yeah. However, it's really because of I mean, I do ask myself why. I suppose it's because, like me, we sometimes self-select ourselves out. We may underqualify and get ourselves out of the race. Yeah. So such self-selection lead us to opt out of applying for leadership positions, even when the opportunities knock. Yeah. So nevertheless, in recent years, we are heartened to see that the push for women in the board levels has been really a lot more aggressive. And the Business Times data of Singapore Exchange top 100 companies have seen women representation grow from 15.2 to 22.7. So that is a tremendous achievement in 2023. So it is a really significant milestone for women today. So as in Singapore, we should celebrate this achievement.
Yes, yeah. And just now you mentioned, right, I do observe as well, women tend to apply only when they feel they have fulfilled all the criteria. I was one of them like that in the past. However, over the years, I have stepped forward, taken risks, as well as challenged my own perceptions of what I can achieve. So it's a journey, I guess, that we all need to encourage more women to embark on.
Indeed, we don't need to tick all the boxes. I agree.
Yes.
Yes.
All right. Could you share the strategies to succeed in industries traditionally dominated by men?
Okay. Well, engineering is an industry in Singapore that's male dominated and has been for a long time. In executive search, we can attest to that. Yeah. Data from My Careers Future showed that in 2020, women only made up 32.4% of all the STEM jobs. And in 2022, NTU study, it's called the STEM Gender Gaps in Singapore. It shows that women only made up of 30% of local researchers and engineers. Yeah. So when jobs tend to be gender dominant, let us consider to open up opportunities in a more concerted way. For example, like engineering, to consider equal opportunities for women, which I believe many organizations would like to do. Yeah. So to continue to push this agenda, Citadel Search often encourage our clients to do away with stereotypes and advocate a level playing field, regardless of gender, regardless of religion or language, to really balance the scale so that everyone can be considered objectively. So for example, let me give you a specific example. Like there was a client who wanted to hire an executive assistant, and this role is often a female-dominated industry. So we offered the possibilities to them to consider male candidates as well as to perhaps see a few of such possible candidates. And interestingly, they were open to the proposition. So in that sense, it is great to sometimes push this agenda. Yes.
Yes.
So go ahead. Yes.
Yeah, it's impressive how Citadel Search advocates for equal opportunities. challenging stereotypes and fostering inclusivity. I love your real world examples of encouraging clients to consider diverse candidates. When I was a HR business partner, I also used to challenge the hiring managers in this aspect.
Oh, that's really very fantastic to do that. And sometimes we also challenge clients who have certain stereotypes and to encourage them to talk about the unconscious bias in the open. But it takes a lot of courage, to be honest, to do so because it may risk business. But
Yes.
it's precisely that.
Yeah.
That is why courage and diplomacy has to play out. Yeah.
Very good. Yeah, that's why I say impressive. Great. Great. Let's talk about the theme for this year's International Women's Day, Inspire Inclusion. How do you see the concept of Inspire Inclusion playing a role in the culture you cultivate at Citadel Search? And what strategies do you use to inspire inclusion within your organization?
I see. Yes, I think it's International Women's Day, and Inspire Inclusion is indeed the theme. And relating back to Citadel Search, I would say building relationships being one of our core values. It's how we would make our decisions based on performance and inclusion. So regardless of gender, regardless of religion, etc., we are inclusive in the way we listen to both fact and reason, and also put everyone on a level playing field. And most importantly, to help our clients see our work through an objective lens. So we like to practice what we preach internally as well. So we do that for our clients, but internally as well. Inclusiveness is also pervasive in our practices and how we select and develop our own staff, including even interns. So we evaluate them objectively in the hiring process. So everyone is placed on a level playing field without any biases. This is how we remain inclusive, making sure that we assess not based on gender, not based on religion or etc., but for their current potential and their future potential.
Yes, great. Yeah, thanks for sharing. Thanks, Cindy. Your commitment to inspire inclusion, both in external practices with clients and internal practices at Citadel Search, is truly commendable. In my own experiences, I found that a focus on inclusivity not only strengthens internal cohesion, but also enhances external partnerships.
Indeed, yes.
Thanks. And it's truly remarkable that you have achieved so much in your career while also being a mother to 5 children. Could you share the strategies, how you have managed to balance these demanding roles?
I must say I'm still a work in progress, not a completed journey, yes. But I totally agree with you that it is a demanding role to play because as a woman, I have so many domains that I need to take care of. Yeah. And personally, I put it to myself that being a mother, it's an extremely important role to me. And it is demanding because I like to be actively involved in my children's life. Yeah. And I try not to let my work overshadow my time with my children. So be it at competitions or games or graduations or ceremonies, I try to be there for them.
Nice.
But these are more formal types of moments. But I think the informal moments like, just time out, ice cream time, one-on-one time, shopping time, where I have the opportunity to have tea, and just talk about life with them. That's really important to me. And my hubby and I really like to make sure we are involved parents, and they truly have a relationship with us, not just as a parent, but also as a friend.
Nice. I love that. I really admire your dedication and the way you prioritize active involvement in your children's life and maintain a holistic approach to your multiple roles is truly inspiring.
Yes, I'm sure many women like me too um, have the same challenge, and we play many, many roles. We see ourselves, not just as mother, but we see ourselves as a wife, we are also a member at the gym, a member at the church, etc. And we also want to have a life of our own. Yeah. So
Exactly.
I believe in balancing these roles and at different points and priorities of our lives. So as
Exactly.
our life evolves, the priorities change, and it's playing out what is really important at different stages.
Nice. That's right. Thank you. And could you share how do you prioritize self-care and maintain your own well-being while managing your roles of a mother as well as an entrepreneur?
Ah, I think self-care. Yes, I think it's incredibly important, regardless of whether you're a mother or a father. Yeah, all of us need to have self-care, especially in our Singapore society, which is extremely fast-paced. And it's true that in 2023, a very interesting survey I recently read, it's called Asia Pacific Workforce Hopes and Fears Survey by PwC. Interestingly, in this survey, Singapore was 10th in position as compared to 14 countries. And compared to our nearby neighbors, we are very, very low in terms of percentage. In terms of global average, we were faring only at 47% against 57%. Yeah. So that means that Singapore workers tend not to be very happy in their jobs. Yeah. So that means that there will be churn. And all the more in our society where it's so fast paced, we really need to take care of ourselves.
Exactly.
And we need to take care of our mental well-being, our physical well-being, and set aside time for exercise, getting active, a nice massage, a lot of tender loving care for ourselves. Yeah, we can't just spend our hours in the office working and working, but also to find that balance in having self-care. Now, for me, it is about exercise, it's about massage, it's also about music because I love these three.
Nice. Thank you for highlighting the importance of self-care, Cindy. Your insights on the fast-paced work culture in Singapore and the significance of mental and physical well-being resonates deeply with me. And that is why I'm on a mission to help employees and leaders reduce stress, navigate challenges in this high-pressure work environment through my work in training, coaching, as well as keynote speeches.
Yes, talking about mission, I really do think that we all have God-given talents and we all have it manifold, but it's really about multiplying these talents in the various areas of our lives. And that is my personal mission to really, be the driving force. This gives me a lot of energy every day as I live out this mission to help others to enable them to play out their God-given talents.
Great, lovely. Thank you, Cindy. For aspiring female leaders listening to our podcast, what advice would you offer?
Wow, okay. I would say if you're already a very experienced female leader, I would like to affirm you and also to encourage you to lift up other aspiring female leaders. It's important to always inspire and encourage and provide for our other future leaders the opportunities to shine. One thing I feel make us women leaders different from our male counterparts is our unique ability to appreciate things from a more holistic perspective. As women, we are more holistic in our approach and we tend to be a lot more wholesome. Yeah. So in fact, our male counterparts, always, say, I thought you were right. And I didn't see it that way. I mean, we get that all the time, right? So this is really our advantage. Yeah. So we should leverage upon it. Yeah.
Great.
And perhaps for women who are trying to climb their way up the corporate ladder, I would say don't lose sight of who you are. The upper ring of corporate ladder is sometimes dubbed as the boys' club. So oftentimes women feel pressure to be accepted as one of the boys and may lose their own voice and individuality in the process. I want to encourage all women leaders that you don't have to give up your own truth just to fit in. Ultimately, staying true to yourself is more powerful than succumbing to societal pressures or group pressure. For me, I think I find no worth in just being a maximum value employee, even if it's sometimes meaning leaving the organization or not being part of the group. I rather make sacrifice to take a stand than fold to a group pressure. Yeah, I feel this sort of courage, it's sometimes not about gender, but everyone should, cultivate.
Great. Thank you, Cindy. I love your advice to both experienced female leaders and those climbing the corporate ladder. And your emphasis on staying true to yourself and having the courage to speak up resonates with me. I believe in being authentic and also standing firm for what we believe in.
That's so true. Yes, indeed.
Thank you. And which women leaders inspires you, Cindy?
Okay. I would say Mother Teresa, Jacinda Ardern, and Chan Hing-chi, a nun, a politician, and a diplomat. What makes them very different for me is the ability to call out the elephant in the room and to speak, the courage to speak the truth. And they do it in a very diplomatic and yet compassionate way.
Yeah, I
So
love what
my role models, you have to ask me.
Great, thank you. They are indeed role models, displaying both assertiveness as well as compassion, as what you mentioned. Very valuable qualities in women leaders. Thank you, Cindy. As we wrap up the session, is there any final message you would like to share with our listeners?
I would say the importance of not letting societal norms and expectations define who you are. No matter what difficulties one faces, whether it be gender or discrimination or otherwise, to believe in yourself. I think our society, it's fast and pressurizing, and the labyrinth of change continues. And these stereotypes can sometimes self-limit us. To perhaps step out of a comfort zone and to have the courage to speak up. Sometimes society rules don't sometimes align with our own. So I would say play your own game. Don't let yourself be guided by the norms of others. You see, hard work, determination, and perseverance are all very important ingredients of success. And we have always learned that through the years.
Yes.
However, I feel the first ingredient is actually courage. This will allow us to really fly, and the other ingredients can then follow.
Yeah, thank you. I really love what you mentioned, the call to break free from societal norms, believe in yourself, and have the courage to steer one's own path is truly inspiring. I feel that in cases where people don't believe in you, you have to believe in yourself first, because our mindsets influence our behaviors and the results we get. What we tell ourselves becomes our reality. So remember, we are the directors of our own stories.
Indeed.
So thank you, Cindy.
I like that very much too. Yes.
For sharing your journey, insights, and empowering messages. And to our listeners, thank you for joining us. Remember, your stories, experience, and voices matter. Stay inspired, and till the next time, goodbye. Bye. Thank you.